Yeah, but, going back to the perfect timing, I just did a story before you came on how all of the billions of dollars of Tamiflu stock was about to go bad. Its shelf life was only 3 years, and then now, of course, we have this non-pandemic pandemic right in time to get that off the shelves and make your money back. Perfect timing in Iraq. Just when Obama has to live up to his campaign pledges to stop the war and get our troops the heck out of there, all of a sudden there's all this violence. And I know how it works, Adam. They paid off a lot of the alleged terrorists that were working for them in the beginning. They kept them on a stipend, gave them money, kept them occupied, suspended proactive preemptive operations group that is pretending to be terrorists in order to get the terrorists out of their holes, and then all they have to do is institute that again, turn the heat up a little bit, and people start going crazy. It's just it's like a switch they have. They can just flip, and it serves their purpose every time.
It's for those who can see those underlying patterns that you described, or rather, beneath the surface dynamics. And, we're always going to have disagreements on how those are actually functioning in that sense. But, I didn't think about that in terms of this swine flu thing, but it is scary to see how easily manipulable we all still are.
Yeah.
I got a cold last week. I don't know if you hear my voice is still a little rough, but, you got a cold? Is it the swine flu? Every single time, I said that, every single time someone noticed I had a cold. Oh, really? Is it the swine flu? So I just started saying, yeah, but I'm going to go to the doctors to get my little tail snipped next week, and I'll be fine after that. And it's just, you're right. You're
led by the nose,
manipulation.
Led by the nose to the pre-engineered solutions. Well, I want to warn my listeners. This guy could have the swine flu. I want you all to put on masks while you listen to this broadcast.
Yeah. Well, I also I read just a little funny story the other day online about someone that got pulled over who was wearing a mask, and the policeman asked him why. Like, he was giving him a simple ticket, and he said swine flu, and the cop thought he was making fun of him and gave him an extra ticket.
Well, that's the thing. You got to wear the masks. They're flying off the shelf by the millions by companies that refuse to be identified. That's a little fishy. But you can't wear them in airports. DHS doesn't want you to come in because you could be a terrorist if you're wearing a mask.
Oh, right.
The criminals are going to have a field day with this. It's like Halloween. You can wear a mask on Halloween with perfect conditions to perform robberies.
Are they really wearing masks all over the place in certain parts of the country already? Because I don't think it's going to get to that point.
Well, they are. Not all over the country, but
I know in New York they had to evacuate, or they had to shut down a school, right?
Yeah.
The one that had the group that had actually gone to Mexico.
Yes.
But
somebody went to Mexico.
Where is it that it's really bad right now? I don't know if you want to get into this because I'm not really paying attention.
Hey, Adam, I have been reporting consistently on my website and putting up tons of reports. Everything we can find is that this is a non-existent epidemic, pandemic, non-pandemic pandemic. But you see how people react, and it's very easy, again, just to push people's buttons and to have them just follow along for safety reasons.
That's why you call them sheeple, right?
I call them Americans. You've been a big supporter of Ron Paul, and, if I ever have any doubts, I go, look at the Daily Paul or go to Campaign for Liberty, and then I see we're right on the same page. I think we think alike, which is why I like him so much, and he has come out on this saying, look, you pay attention, but you don't go slam right into the solutions. But the solutions are under the Rambo Emanuel edict of never waste a good crisis, and I can't even...
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to say that.
I can't even imagine how much money is going to go now into these bloated health bureaucracies in the United States. I mean, this is now a blank check for them.
Yeah, well, they're not the only ones who are going to be profiting off of it.
Yeah. The health industrial complex, probably and logically owned by the same people that make the guns. There you go, folks. If that's not ironic, I don't know what is.
Libertarians don't talk about this very much, but, the socialists don't have a problem with it, and I think we need to, in broadening our support, really make a point that the fact that 1% of our population controls 99% of the wealth, or whatever that statistic is, that really is based on stuff that we see as criminal, too. And the concentrations of wealth are what results, with unjustly acquired property with all these criminal activities through our government.
Well, there's such an easy solution to this. I know the socialists, want mass regulations, which always, regulate the little guy and not the big guy. We know how that works. But look, I've suggested voting with your dollars. If you get a good information service out there that a company has been unethical, then people need to stop giving them money, and they go out of business. And that's how the people regulate these companies and corporations in a free market.
You're right. That's an essential component, but that's only part of it. Because what we have is a government that is using the power of the government, which is the threat of force and violence, to favor these companies, to give them economic rights that trump individual economic rights. And that does need to be taken on, and that absolutely needs to be addressed. Corporatism, it's not just a matter of the American people buying. Yeah, you're right. I think your solution would kick in sooner than anything else.
An educated public is the answer. Boycotts, strikes, voting with your dollars, that will actually work as a regulatory fixture, and maybe we can get that someday. Adam Kokesh with us. We'll talk more about his campaign, run for Congress, right after this. Stay tuned. Deadline Live.